hearing today, and so if she gets back in here, I was hoping I could speak with her briefly.
Yeah, I let her in from the waiting room. So, but then she disappeared.
Okay. Maybe she'll hop back on, because it's my understanding when I spoke to her that she was amenable to working services. And I just wanted to confirm that with her before we go forward. All right. Thank you, Judge. I just spoke with her. I guess she doesn't have good service. She keeps logging in and then dropping off. But she is willing to work services.
Okay. All right. We've got department folks in the breakout room now, so we'll give them a minute and then we can get started.
Okay. And I did ask her about father in this case, and she said that she didn't know where he was either.
Okay. For the department versus Lillian Salazar and Miguel Gonzalez, we're here for a request of court-ordered services. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are also live streaming. Ms. Wyatt's making our record this afternoon. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I'm present and ready with Investigator Lupe Perez and Supervisor of Investigations Natalie Thacker. And I'm also present and ready with caseworker Pam Pierce from Family-Based Safety Services, all from the department.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent Lillian. She has been in and out of the room, but I'm present and ready.
Jim Shaw representing the father.
Bailey Sapien on behalf of the child.
All right, thank you. Okay, mom is trying to log back in. I've admitted her, but I think it's just a bad Wi-Fi signal. So, all right, then, Ms. Ferguson, have any witnesses to call today?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that we do have an agreement. I know that we may need to do a little bit of prove up as to the father. We weren't able to serve him. We were told that he moved to Plano. We're not really sure of his location at this time, and we haven't had contact since this case was filed with him. But it is my understanding that the mother is in agreement to work services and for the order to participate case. So I guess I can call a witness and we can just do a really quick prove up.
Well, I guess the question is as to father. We don't really have his agreement, correct?
That is correct.
So are we wanting to keep him in the case or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So we'd need some testimony for that then.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Who's your first witness then?
Your Honor, I call Lupe Perez. And how did you get called out originally on this case? What were the allegations?
The allegations were for domestic an altercation between Lillian and Miguel. Both parents were arrested.
Okay. And have both parents had a previous history with the department of the same types of issues?
Yes, both of them have.
And in fact, both of them actually worked a removal case when Isidro was removed in 2016. Is that correct?
Correct.
And at that time, did they address issues of domestic violence and counseling and family counseling?
Yes, they did.
And is the department today asking for those same services to be provided to the family at this time in hopes of preventing any future necessary actions by this court?
Yes, we are.
And in fact, these services are intended to prevent a removal of Isidro. Is that correct?
Yes, they are.
And so at this time, is the department asking that both Miss Lillian Salazar and Miguel Gonzalez participate in services?
Correct.
And for Miss Salazar, have you spoken with her, and do you feel like she's in agreement with the services you've requested of her?
Yes, I've spoken to her and she is in agreement.
What about Mr. Gonzalez?
I have yet to make contact with them.
Okay, and how many times have you attempted? How have you attempted to contact him?
Face-to-face contact with them at residence at least 5 times.
Okay. And what happens when you go there?
Either no one answers the door or, just no response. But I have left my card multiple times. The times that I do go back, my card is gone.
Okay. And do you have any kind of other contact information for him?
No, I do not.
What services would you be asking this court to order for Mr. Gonzalez?
BIP, parenting classes, drug testing, and counseling.
Okay. And it's fair to say for drug testing, if you were to ask the parents to take a drug test and they returned a positive result, then you would ask them to take a drug assessment and follow up with any recommendations from that assessment. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
But at this time, you're only asking for drug testing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then follow up if necessary.
Correct.
For BIP, why is it important for a parent to take that?
To address the domestic violence, the ongoing domestic violence.
Okay.
And for mother, it would be choices since they are both aggressors.
Where is Isidro currently living?
He is with Lillian in Lockney.
Okay. And is it your understanding, where is it your understanding that Mr. Gonzalez lives?
I thought he was still in Florida.
Okay. Has Miss Salazar told you anything about their relationship?
She said that they are no longer in a relationship.
Okay. And so would the department also be asking for each of them to go to counseling and then address family and couples counseling if they do get back in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay. And would the department be asking for that to be driven basically by the individual counselor and whatever recommendations they make?
Correct.
In the recent incident where there was where it was alleged that there was domestic violence, was Isidro present in the home?
He was.
And is the department concerned about fighting in the home with Isidro present?
Yes, we are.
Is that the heart of why these services are being requested?
Correct.
Okay. And at this time, would the department be requesting that anybody, that if Miss Salazar and Mr. Gonzalez are going to be together in the presence of Isidro, that a third party also be there to supervise?
Yes.
And is that typically a third party that they will get approved through the FBSS process?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And typically it would be a grandparent or something like that. Has Isidro's grandparent been involved?
Paternal grandmother has been involved.
Okay. And would the department also take names from the parents of anybody else that they want to be able to be a monitor? Is that correct?
Yes, they're able to provide some
Okay.
people.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Kincaid.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Shaw.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Sapien.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Perez, did you state that mom is currently living with maternal grandmother?
Yes, her parents in law.
Okay. And Isidro's also there?
Yes, he's there with her.
Do you have any concerns about maternal grandmother being protective of the child?
At this time, no, I don't have any concerns.
Do you know who else is in the home?
Just mother and father. Or grandmother and grandfather.
Okay. Thank you. No questions.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, anything further of this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right then. Ms. Ferguson, do you have any additional witnesses today?
Just briefly, can I just really quickly call Miss Salazar?
Sure.
And,
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you hear me state the services that the department is requesting?
I heard some of it because I don't know, I was having trouble of getting on here and hearing it.
Okay. So the department is requesting that you go to individual counseling, parenting, domestic violence services, and possibly random drug testing. If you were to be positive on any drug test, then we would ask for follow-up services from that.
Okay.
Is that something that is your understanding of what the department was requesting?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Are those services you would be willing to do?
Yeah, they're online, right?
A lot of them, you can work with your FBSS caseworker to find ones that will fit within your schedule. For instance, drug testing may not be in your area, so that might be something you have to travel for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that Mr. Gonzalez also needs to work services?
I don't know. I mean, Siegel's with me.
Do you believe that both of you going to counseling could help Isidro?
I don't know.
Well, you successfully worked services in the past, is that correct?
Yes.
And in fact, you worked a whole entire year-long case and went to reunification.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you willing to do that kind of work again to get back to where you were?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Kincaid,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw,
No questions, Your Honor.
all right, Ms. Sapien.
No questions, Judge.
All right. Okay, Ms. Ferguson, anything further?
No, Your Honor, at this time, the department rests.
All right. Ms. Kincaid,
No witnesses, Your Honor. We rest.
Mr. Shaw.
Rest and close, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Sapien.
You froze, Judge. I'm sorry. Is it my turn?
Yes,
Did you want my recommendation?
unless you have something else to present.
No, I don't have anything else to present, Your Honor. I just asked that mom be ordered to work these services. I don't have any concerns today.
All right, and what about the father?
Father too.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, then based certainly on Ms. Salazar's agreement, I will grant the department's request and order the services that have been detailed. And that would also include the couples counseling should parents reunite. With respect to Mr. Gonzalez, based on the affidavit for the affidavit in support of this request, I think that it would be very beneficial for Mr. Gonzalez to also work the services that have been requested. Same thing, that would also include couples counseling should they reconcile. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be thinking of a different case, but was there like a magistrate's protective order or some kind of protective order where they were not supposed to have contact right now? Or was that just a safety plan?
It was a safety plan.
Okay. I've had several of these just recently, And so I've had a lot of protective orders swirling around. Okay, so that was just a safety play. Okay, good enough. Okay. All right, and then I will grant that request, find that it is in the best interest of Isidro to do so. Ms. Salazar, just stay in close contact with the department and stay in close contact with your attorney. And that will assure that you will get through this process successfully.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, and I appreciate you agreeing to do this.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Everybody, appreciate you shifting times, and everybody have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good judge.
Okay. Bye-bye.